Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's webinar. Um, my name is Charlotte Rønnedam, and I'm from Denmark. And together with Jannike Hager from Norway, we have our special guest tonight, Dee Platt, and we are really looking forward to having her and telling her story and how she became where she's at today. And as the topic says, if she could do it, or if I could do it, she said, anybody can. So we're really looking forward to learning that, because of course everybody who's listening in wants to learn how we're going to do that. So I will put it over to you, Jannike.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, just a little bit of a background. I guess all of the Americans listening in here, they know that you are originally from Chicago, Dee, but you live in Florida now, and you've lived there for quite a few years. And you used to be a nurse, but have then over the years now created a big international necking business in 16 countries. And you've also been on several occasions a top business builder in North America. Can you tell a little bit more about your background?
Well, as a registered nurse, if some of the older people might remember Florence Nightingale, I thought I was going to be Florence Nightingale because during my childhood, I was sick and nobody knew what it was. I had excruciating abdominal pain. I lost weight. I would not be able to hold any food down. They did surgery on me when I was 18 years old, and they called it regional ileitis, which is Crohn's disease. So I was sick for most of my childhood, so I was afraid. I was afraid of the doctor. I was afraid of the hospital. So I wanted to be the person that was going to protect everybody else so that they weren't afraid. So that's why I went into nursing. When I got married, my husband and I owned one of the first discount stores in the city of Chicago. That was before Walmart and Sam's Club and Costco and those kind of places. And we made a lot of money. We just didn't have any time to have a relationship. And so we grew apart, and that's when I moved to Florida and went back to nursing, gastroenterology specialty, which happens to be right in my disease, Crohn's disease, gastroenterology. And things started to change. I couldn't be Florence Nightingale anymore. We had the computers, we had politics, we had many, many hours and not getting paid like a lot of other people what you're worth. And there wasn't that one-on-one relationship with the patients. And medical errors were on the rise, and properly prescribed medications from doctors were causing so many side effects and contraindications, and I wasn't happy, and I wanted.
But how did you come across necking the first time? There was some special occasions on that, wasn't there?
Well, the first time you're asking me was when my brother was using these products, and that was 3 years before I even believed in them. He had a challenge, and he said he was doing wonderfully, and he even said that he was doing the business and the company was paying for his car. And I told my mother that, you know how little brothers lie. I said, Mom, he's lying. Don't believe a thing he's saying. But you know, certain things happen in your life, and something happened in mine. I guess I got it out there that I didn't like what I was doing, and I was on my way home from work one day, and I was on the interstate, and I tried to avoid what looked like a gigantic tire in the slow lane, and I turned my steering wheel very quickly, and it locked. I couldn't straighten it out, and it took me across 2 lanes like I was on ice, turned my car completely around, and I was now going into oncoming traffic in the fast lane. So we hit head on in the fast lane, and most people from from my experience, whoever have an accident like that are either dead or paraplegic, and I'm alive and I'm moving.
You are. Absolutely. We saw you in Orlando, so we know you're alive. We saw you on stage and, you know, talked to you. So definitely. But you had an experience there with, I remember you told us, Charlotte and me, that you got into the hospital, they sent you home, and then the next day you couldn't move because
Absolutely.
of pain.
Yes.
And that was when you then, or not then, but you had issues with that. You had to keep the pain in, you know, check sort of for a period of time, and then eventually you decided that, okay, you would try the nicotine products.
That's right, and I was very skeptical. But when you hit rock bottom, you'll try something that you never would believe would help you. And I called my brother and I said, I'm ready. What do you have for me? And he said, come on over. So I went over there and he showed me the Madflex. And he said to me, just slip this in your pants. He said, wear it 24/7 and you're going to feel better. And when I looked at it, I really didn't want to laugh. But I said, they don't work because I bought them at Target. I tried magnets. And he said, this is different. This is a research and development company. It's going to help you. It's going to balance your body. And then he started to describe, you know, about the Earth's magnetic field and how we're in concrete and airplanes and cars under fluorescent lighting. We're not getting the Earth and the sun's natural energies to help our bodies recover. And this was going to balance it to help my body recover on its own. So I did it.
And then I remember you said that you did not really believe in any of this, and your own experience after having had a lot of pain, and also with the Crohn's disease, you'd been through various operations and everything there. So, you know, I remember you said if you didn't experience what you did experience yourself with the nicotine products, you would never have believed it.
That's absolutely right. The products are experiential.
So how has your life improved? Yes, sorry. How has your life improved, you know, in that sense?
Well, I herniated 4 discs in my back, and I was told I needed surgery. And with this one product, it got me on the road to thinking I didn't need surgery. I wasn't going to have it anyway because I didn't trust the system. But when all of the other, I became a distributor only to buy products. My brother said there was a business here, and I said, I can't do this. I don't know how. I don't have time. I was already working 60 hours a week at the doctor's office. But he said, if you would pay $60 to be a distributor, you could buy anything that you want wholesale. And I went to a presentation, and I saw all the products. I knew I needed to sleep. I knew I needed that sleep system. I believed the products worked, even though I was skeptical at the beginning. Let me just back up. After this product worked, I wanted to know about Niken, and I wanted to know about the technologies, and I went to a wellness preview. And there were 6 people in front, and they all had a story. And I wouldn't have believed them, that is absolutely right, if it didn't happen to me. I would have thought some guru took these guys up a mountain and said the blind could see and the crippled could walk. But it worked for me, so I was a believer in the products.
And I guess that is what it goes with a lot of people, and I found it incredible, you know, like you said, you had for several weeks been using the products, didn't feel anything, and suddenly one day you didn't have the pain, and you woke up, you got to work with a big smile, which was a big change for you. And that feeling is quite incredible when you have experienced what you've experienced before. So big change for you that way.
Big change. I mean, today, I could tell you that I won the lottery of life. And the lottery of life consists of good health, because you see me. I don't take any medications. The only things I pop into my mouth are our whole food nutritionals. With Crohn's disease, you can't eat fruits and vegetables. It's fiber. So all of the products that Niken has are so nutritious that all of my blood tests come out wonderfully. And I don't have any Crohn's seen on my colonoscopy for the last 10 years. I don't have any pain. I do the things I want to do with my grandchildren. I work out at the health club. I make money. How can anything be better than that?
Exactly. And you can do it yourself according to the time, everything that you want. But why did you start or choose to start building the knitting business then? You said you became a believer, but from becoming a believer and saying, okay, I use the product for myself to really, building the business. What was the big thing then?
Well, I knew I wasn't a salesperson. So I knew I couldn't do this business, even though I was told that you don't have to sell, you just share. But I was so excited about what was happening to me after suffering for 3 years that I was just telling everybody. And then people were looking at me, the ones who knew that I was really addicted to pain medications, and they said, how come your pupils aren't dilated? What are you doing? Why are you smiling? Why is your complexion glowing? And I would tell them what I was doing, and some people were interested. Some people still believe the world is flat, so they couldn't have cared less. But some people wanted what I had, and so they did what I did. They became a distributor, they bought wholesale, they shared it with other people, and the first month I wasn't doing this business, I got a $300 thank you check from Niken. And I was working 60 hours a week at the doctor's office. I had no time to talk to people, I thought. Second month was $500. The third month was $1,000. Now that's got my attention. When I got that $1,000 check, I knew I discovered something that was going to give me financial security, good health, and enjoyment in my life. And that's what did it, that $1,000 check.
So you had a money incentive to see that there was a possibility, really. But sorry.
God forbid I couldn't go to work anymore. Where's my plan B? People don't even think about it. I wouldn't have any money coming in. What do you get if you get disability or Social Security at a young age? I don't know. I don't think people can live on that. So this, the light bulb went on. This was my security. I don't have to live on my children's money.
No, and you can help them. You can grow something that's big, and you also said that you have your grandchildren coming down to visit you. You have the time to be with them, and so on. So that's wonderful.
If you could get up 365 days a year and you choose what you want to do, whether it be work, play, travel, whatever you want to do, you have no stress. That's enjoyment.
And that's what most people have. Exactly, and that's what most people have.
We deserve it before we check out of this planet?
We do.
We do.
Everybody does.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And you're making a difference in the world. I mean, it's so gratifying to know that people can call you up and say, thank you so much for introducing me to these technologies. My son's doing better, my daughter, me, my husband, whatever it is. Because our products consist also of the business opportunity. And so some people think that they're healthy.
Yeah.
And that's okay, but do they want to stay that way? And would they like to have financial well-being?
Exactly. But also what you told us is this: if I can do it, anybody can do it. You had some challenges. You had the health challenges. You also talked a little bit about the time challenges. Tell a little bit more about, both the challenges you had to overcome, fears. You've been talking about the little monkeys on the shoulder. What do you have to say about that?
A little monkey. First off, this was coming out of my comfort zone. This was doing something altogether different than I had ever done before. Even though I was telling a story from my heart, there are certain skills that you learn in any industry, in any profession. I had to go to nursing school to learn how to give a needle, let's say. We'll just bring up one little thing that I did. And so you can't just come into this and think that you could do it. I mean, if you could do it that way without having any skills, you're really lucky. So I started thinking, I'm afraid to speak in public, so if I'm going to be a leader, I got to do something about that. Whoops, sorry about that. And I was scared to death, and I'm going to tell you all that I still have trepidation, you know, when I'm doing something that's new, picking up the phone, even talking to people, and I've been doing this for 14, 15 years, but I do it because if you don't get out of your comfort zone, you're dying, you're not growing. So I push myself. And so I'm going to tell everybody a story because maybe they could relate to this one. I was in Miami. I was a platinum, and Bo Tanis was there, and he had a big event. And all the leaders were going to get up in front, and they were just going to tell their story. I knew my story. But by the time it got to me, because I was standing at the end, my heart probably was beating out of my heart. My chest, people could see it. The veins were sticking out of my head, and I was scared to death. And I rattled on about my story, and I got off as soon as I could, and I left. And I got in the car, and I cried. Because I not only embarrassed myself, I embarrassed my mentor, who's Ihor Lenko. And I called him up on the phone, and I said, Ihor, I'm so sorry I embarrassed you. And he says, Dee, you should all get a mentor like this. He says, you know how many people in the audience could relate to where you were coming from? We're not paid speakers. We're talking from our heart, and they felt what you were feeling, what you were going through. He says, you are wonderful. And when you have somebody in your corner like that, you know, you're not going to, you know, hang up the keys or whatever you call it, you know, and quit. You're going to go on because you have people that believe in you. But the bottom line is you got to believe in yourself, and then you have the confidence, and then people believe you.
But you did also, you know, you actually took classes in public speaking because you felt that you needed to get, you know, further in getting out of the comfort zone, or rather getting more comfortable with it. And like you said, the other fact is the importance of having somebody believing in you, in that you can be more than you actually are. That's all the humans being more part of Nikin. So
I went to Dale Carnegie's public speaking class, and we had to get up and speak in front of the class. We had homework, and I didn't like it, and I paid a lot of money for it. Otherwise, I probably would have quit. And it seemed like everybody else that was in that class was fine when they got up in the front of the room. But then when you talked to them and you shared your feelings, they felt the same way I did. Anyway, make a long story short, I passed, and I did positive affirmations. I learned from a few people in Nikan. I'm so joyful and grateful now that I speak in front of large groups of people, and they love what I say. And I kept saying this over and over again. So then when I was called up, it wasn't as bad. Each time I got up, it was a little bit less. You know, when you saw me in Orlando, my hand shook a bit when I was holding the microphone, but I held it, and it went away. And everybody that was out there, they were awesome. Awesome people that were just there to learn, be inspired, and to be part of that. And all of you can do it, I'm telling you, because if it happened to me, like I said, it can happen to you. Just do the right thing. Do the things to become a leader. You could even Google it if you want. Nikan's got the whole process. And Humans Being More is awesome. But just Google it. How do you become a leader? And it tells you all the things, and then you can do your meditations, and you just can do all these positive things that you're supposed to do on a regular basis to make you feel confident.
Exactly. The one thing you also mentioned, which this of having a supportive upline is important, but you know, there are people who drop out of Nikin. There might be several levels where there is nobody really doing much. What do you have of recommendations then for people who don't have a supportive upline? Do you have some recommendations to come?
I do. You know, it's very important that you attend the big events. When you attend the big events, people from all over the world are there as well. And you go up and you talk to these people. And at the beginning, I didn't do that. because I was afraid to go up and bother the people. But I've become one of those people, and I'm telling you, come up to us, ask us questions, pick our brains, and maybe one of those you can relate to, and ask them if you could be accountable to them. Ask them if they'll be part of a mastermind group with you. It's so important to find the person that you're comfortable with.
Exactly, and also, like you said, this pick the brain. We had in Orlando these roundtable sessions, which were, that was great, because that is really a great way of picking the brain of people. But in addition, all the time we can have, to talk to other people in the breaks, etc. So finding people and meeting them at the big events, keeping in touch with Nick and people to sort of expand, grow yourself and grow your connections, which is important, because it is a network business. This.
Absolutely.
So, and then you mentioned at some stage, are you more ambitious than you think? You had some interesting thoughts on that when Charlotte and I talked to you before,
I push
what
myself.
do you have to say? Yeah.
I push myself a lot.
Mm.
Yeah, I do. I like to be busy. I don't like doing nothing. I don't like sitting and watching TV because I'm not being productive. So if you can just go out and mingle with people, just relax and talk to people, be interested in other people, lo and behold, you're going to find people that are looking for what we have. And that's when you can present it to them. As far as ambition is concerned, I don't know how to define ambition. I guess I am ambitious because every day I'm growing, every day I'm getting better and better, and every day I'm making a difference in other people's lives beside my own, and I'm grateful for it. Where else can you find something like this? I'm older than you two. I know, you can't tell, but when I was your age, I didn't know I had options. You're very fortunate. I didn't know there was another way. I just suffered doing what I didn't want to do. And so I wasn't a happy camper.
But still, when you got into Nicken, you did, as you said, you worked 60-hour weeks, but you still found time to do those calls in your lunch break.
I did.
So what did you do?
First of all, working 60 hours a week, what you're doing is you're spontaneously interacting with people through your day somehow, somewhere. You are, because you're not in prison. And so you talk to people. You find out about them. You build a relationship with them. And yes, I used to do cold calls. I did a course, Todd Falcone has a cold calling course, and I bought it. And it's CDs on how to cold call. There's a script book that I have that I still use to call real estate people, financial people, marketing people in hotels. And you go on the internet and you can get all these phone numbers, and I would have them all on a piece of paper, and I would sit in the car with the air conditioning on because it's hot here all year, and I would make those calls. And I would learn the script. So when I called, it was a friendly call. I wasn't reading it. It was part of me. And I would introduce myself. And lo and behold, a couple of them said yes, they wanted more information. And a couple of them here and there signed up. It was more than a couple, but people signed up. People came into the business. And I'll go anywhere. I'll go 50 miles this way, 100 miles that way. I don't care. It's my business, and it's my passion.
And that's the beauty of it. When you love it, what you do, then you can talk to anybody about it, but the importance of listening and actually finding out the needs of the other person is also really important.
I mean, you should all have somebody that I just sponsored. I was getting a facial, and I was just talking to her instead of just laying there and relaxing. And I asking her questions about her family and all, and she said that she was looking for something to retire with. She didn't even look that old. And I knew I had something for her to retire with. But I wasn't
Exactly.
throwing it in right then and there, you know. Sorry about that. I was just waiting for the right time. And after it was all over, after my facial was all over, I said to her, I said, I think I might have something that would interest you for your retirement. Can I take you for a coffee? And she said yes, and she gave me her phone number. Make a long story short, she's joined us on our NECAN family. She's got, yesterday she brought over a lady from Alaska, and I did a one-on-one presentation for this woman, and the new distributor's name is Nelda. She went and gave her a magnetic massage. She gave her a rollout in the bedroom. The woman fell asleep, and this lady said she can't sleep. So, I mean, she had me with the UPS guy at the coffee shop. She had 8 people over at her home. This is what you got to find people who really want it as bad as we do. We're looking for people like ourselves. And I think I found this person who was like me. So I'm fortunate, and I'm not saying that it happens all the time. You got to keep on going. You know,
But
I
then
always remember
you're good
one
at that.
thing.
Yeah, sorry. No, keep telling.
One thing I like to tell people, and I'm probably not going to be accurate, but Reed Nelson, some of you know, is one of the top people in our NECAN family. And when he first started and he had gone bankrupt, he went out. He didn't come home for a long time. And the first 60 people that he talked to said no. And I always remind myself, and I remind everybody else, that 60 people said no, and he didn't quit. Probably 10 people would have said no, and I probably would have gone home. I'm being honest. And that's why he's where he is. And that's why he got there so fast. So don't take it personally. If you have a passion and you really have a why, go for it. Go for it.
But then you're also saying this, that you are out and about a lot, you know, meeting people. You go to different kinds of presentations. You go to, wasn't it also car meetings, as in new car sales, etc.?
That's right.
So
I go anywhere. And a lot of people, I'm there just browsing around. I went to the home show over at the convention center in Fort Lauderdale, just walking around. I got some ideas because they had air filtration systems there, and you can smell the ozone. That's what somebody told me anyway, and they were all sold out, so that would be a good place with our air filtration systems. And they had mattresses and everything. But I was just walking around, feeling people, you know, feeling them out, talking to them, and I met a couple of people who gave me their telephone number. One was a young girl, entrepreneur. She's got her own business. I love working with young entrepreneurs. I asked her if she was open to looking at something else, if she was interested in better health. And she said yes, and I called her. And so we're going to be meeting up. So even if you meet one person, if you don't meet anybody, at least you went.
Yeah, and it's a practice, and I think that's what it is for a lot of people, and especially in the beginning. It's, you know, like you said, getting out of your comfort zone. How do you do it? You have to talk to people. You have to get comfortable in asking, listening, and, you know, getting the information, finding out how do I say things, what doesn't work, etc. And the best way of doing it is being out and about. If you are in a, you know, going for a coffee, if you go to the shop, if you go looking at cars, or if you go to other kinds of exhibitions and so on. So that is
one of the things that's important that you asked me earlier is that voice that everybody has, that
the little monkey
that keeps us back from doing the things that we should be doing, that we really want to do, because I've learned that that little voice is probably our ego, our conscience, and it likes us where we are. It doesn't like change. And you have to overcome that. You have to be the strong one. I mean, even as far as going to the health club. This thing up here says to me, what do you have to go for? You could just hang out, eat a piece of cake. You're looking good. What's the difference? And I'm saying, who are you talking to here? And so, you know, you have this conversation with this invisible thing, voice here, and you overcome it. And the more you do it, it knows that you are the boss. that
Exactly.
you are out to get what you want, what you deserve. Don't we deserve it?
We
We
do,
deserve
and
it.
it is practice, and it is for everybody, because I mean, Charlotte and I, we've had to come out of our comfort zone on certain things, and especially we didn't think a year ago that we would be doing these webinars. So that's a growing process for us, and then there's lots of other things, and we all do. And then you're on to something else which is important, and that's the fact of personal growth. What do you have to say about that, the importance of it, as in, HBM, you talked a little bit about other things, mastermind groups, and so on. What else do you have to say about that?
Well, it's like I said, I never knew I had an option to be better than I was. I thought I was dealt this, and you just make the best of it and you just survive. I was a survivor. And my first HBM, which was my first introduction to personal growth, the journey to being better than you are here, the journey to get where the visions, the dream of how you want to be is awesome. And it works. It can happen. All you have to do is take one step after the other. I mean, you know how we go to a big event or HBM and you have all these wonderful, you have your life cycle plan and you're so excited and this is where I'm going to be and this is what I'm doing and blah, 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 blah. And then you come home and a week later, the life cycle plan sitting in the corner and maybe you're going back to some of the things you did before. Well, what I thought to myself is, I'm committing to everybody here at HBM and the ones that are in my little group. Well, how about to myself? Am I going to lie to myself? Am I going to say, yeah, I'm going to do all this. This is the way it's going to be. 1 year from now, I'm going to have this and I'm going to do that and not do it? Aren't I important enough? And so that was very, very important. And I've done other personal growth. I've done Landmark, all about now, all about now. Now is now. 10 minutes ago is never going to reoccur. And why should I worry about it? And so we have to learn. We have to program our minds for life, for joy, for all the expectations and our goals and our dreams, and move toward them and forgive ourselves for anything that might have happened in the past or anybody else. Don't hold on to that negative energy, and you're just so relieved. You're just so free. And yes, personal growth, to be a leader, there's skills for that. And I recommend that everybody go to HBM. We're having one here in Boca Raton, August 2nd and 3rd. And the transformation and the excitement and the fun and the friendships that you make for the rest of your life is unbelievable.
And it is a great round. I've been to, 4 or 5 of them now, one in the US last year, and I totally agree. You grow and you experience something completely different each time because you've grown in the meantime as well. So that's also the interesting part of it. But you've also talked a little bit about this with mastermind groups. What have you done there?
Well, I'm on a mastermind call every Monday with a couple of people, with 3 other people, and we go through the mastermind process, which you can get online, and then we talk about our wins for the week. If we had any, we should have at least had one. We talk about anything that might have come up that might be a challenge for us, and we discuss it. We put it out there and see if we can get some positive feedback. And we're all on the journey to the next level, regardless of whatever it is. And so we're on the same page, and the friendship and the love and the compassion and the education that you get from that, I mean, I don't have enough adjectives to tell you how important that is, to get together with a few people at least once a week and talk to the universe, thank them, and have gratitude for what you have at the moment, for what you will be having in the future now. Bring that all into now.
Exactly. And that's also the importance of having the life cycle plan. It's visual, it's here, it's now, that you see it on a daily basis. Another thing, belief system and being worthy. That was also something you had to work yourself into, or keep reminding you, the way I understood it. That I guess a lot of people have that challenge. We don't really feel that we're worthy, but we all are. So the fact of changing the belief systems, and that way, I guess the humans being more is important.
Well, belief in anything that you're doing is vital. It's critical. You don't believe in what you're doing, I mean, you're not getting any joy out of it, that's for sure. So yeah, my belief system in being a network marketer was kind of low. But I learned. I went through the process. I read. And I don't like to read, so you know, you could play a CD. Everything's on YouTube now. Think and Grow Rich. I'm working on that right now. And I say that positive affirmation from Think and Grow Rich 3 times a day. And I have it right here on my life cycle plan, all the pictures. And when I say it, I'm looking at that and I'm feeling it. It's like being an actor. You know, my 8-year-old grandson's an actor on the Nickelodeon channel here in the United States. I don't know if you have it there. And it's called Every Which Way. And he never even took any lessons. And when you see him, he's a mischievous little kid on the show, and he's not in real life. You believe that that's the person he is. And we have to believe that that's the person we are. We have to be on the stage, the stage of life. And the universe sees that and knows that that's the part we want, and that's the part we're playing, and that's the part we're starring in, and that's it. End of the story.
Exactly. So you have changed quite a bit with your belief system from when you started until where you are now. And like you said, I love this, with how you didn't believe in yourself, but others believed in you, to doing all the things you've done, taking the little steps, building your confidence. You know, it's like that's what everybody does. Some people are born with really great confidence, but a lot of people are not, and then it's the same process for everybody. So, and you practice, so there is a big difference, I should think, from when you started until where you are today.
Absolutely. You know, my brother's the one who sponsored me, and he's a showman, and he does a great presentation. And I would sit there and watch this, and I'd say, I can't do that. I can't do it. So, you know, let him do it, and I'll bring my people and let him do it. But as you become more involved, and you know that it's a must to be a lead. You have to be a leader. You have to take responsibility. And so you may not be as good as that person, and I'll never be like my brother, and I don't want to be, so there. But you
exactly.
are yourself. You have your own personality. You have your own strengths. And all you have to do is work on them. And a lot of it is confidence. The word is confidence. Learn to have confidence in yourself, because you are the best. You are the best at what you do.
And you're the best of being you. Nobody else can be you. So hence, you know, that's also what people have to think about. But I like the thing you're talking about, being committed, you know, because it is a commitment thing for yourself, being committed to yourself to grow, to do all these things, and to actually, why shouldn't we all get what we deserve? But we have to commit to ourselves in actually going for it.
You know, when you go to an event, there's a lot of people that go up on that stage talking. They have the royal diamonds, and so far down the line, they have the new people. Some of those new people come up there, I mean, and they are just full of energy. They're not embarrassed. They're just ready to go. I wish I was that person. But I wasn't that person. So if there's anyone out there who says, you know, yeah, right, Dee says anybody can do it because she did it, I'm telling you, I was Poor little me. Poor little me. Let me hide in the back of the room. Don't call on me. And when when we had a wellness preview, and they'd have the silver stand up, or they'd have the gold stand up, and each one had to talk and say something, I had to go to the bathroom on purpose. That's the truth.
Mm.
And so I kicked myself. I pushed myself. I feel that, I've come a long way, and I'm still evolving, and it's exciting. It's an exciting life in Niken.
It
It's like
is.
Mike DiMuccio want to be a rock star. We all want to be something. You could be the rock star by being successful in Niken. What a way to live your life.
Exactly. One thing, what do you have to say to people who want to get unstuck? Because I guess a lot of people are stuck on silver, stuck on gold, stuck on, different types of levels. Any comments with regard to being stuck and wanting to get unstuck?
Well, I'll work with you if you're stuck. And there's certain criteria. And the main one is the 90-day planner. 90 days, your goals. Start at the 90 days. I'm working with somebody right now in Israel that's on my team, and work your way back with all of the activities that you're going to be doing during that day, which includes your ABCs, humans being more, your one-on-ones, whatever it is. It's very, very important. And being accountable, not only to yourself, but to the person who is there to help you. You say that you want help, be there. You give me one, you walk one step, I'll walk two, you walk two, I'll walk three, you walk zero, I walk zero. And every morning, depending on what you like, I have certain things on my phone that when I'm walking the dog, that I play on my phone. Positive affirmations, and I say them. Some really good songs, that the sun is shining, what a beautiful day, just to get you out of, at 7 o'clock in the morning, to have this going on, just to get yourself out of wherever you are, and make it better. And work out at the health club, go walk, go do something that's good for your body. Don't just sit in the house, because, in the old days, they used to have a TV show, The Millionaire. He'd knock on the door, and he'd hand you that $1,000,000. Well, he's not doing it anymore. You've got to get out there. You've got to communicate with people, build relationships, smile, and say hi.
Exactly. And you have to be committed, and you have to plan, like you were saying, using the 90-day plan, using other types of systems. I mean, they're all out there. So it's the commitment part on each person to whatever they want to achieve. That is the important part.
And it's so easy now with the webinars and the different trainings that they have. And they record them all. So if you miss one, you go back and you listen to it. I do that. I mean, I love the one that Julie Tara spoke about when she was, I don't know, she was in a coffee shop or wherever, and a couple came in, and their child was in a wheelchair. And she thought to herself, should I talk to him about magnets? And she hummed and hawed about this for a bit. And by the time she decided that she was going to talk to him, they already walked out and got in the car. And she ran out and knocked on the window. And she said, have you ever tried magnets? And the mother said, I heard about them. I don't know where to get them. And that's when she became the person that was going to play it forward, because she helped this child. But
Exactly.
if she didn't have how do you say it? Wherefore, whatever. If she didn't have the thoughts or whatever, I can't think of the word right now, to do that, maybe this child never would have been helped. Maybe that the person would still be weak in the wheelchair, but she did.
And pay it forward is important, because that is what this is about. You've experienced things yourself, and then you pay it forward in that you can help other people. So, yeah.
If you think of it as a gift, we have a gift. So don't think you're going out and selling, encyclopedias. We have a gift of good health, balance, wealth for certain people that want it bad enough. Offer it.
Yeah.
Offer it to people, offer it to them, and if they say no, it's okay.
And then some people say no, and that's okay as well. Then they're not interested. But there are lots of people out there who need these things and products and can benefit from them and may have an interest in it. But do you have a pitch? Just, we're finalizing here, sort of. What do you say to people if you have people coming to you asking, what do you do? If you don't go out asking other people what they do and ask the questions that way, but you get the question to you.
The company that I owned is World Health and Freedom. I design wellness homes without remodeling, which makes the environment in our homes the safest on the planet, and I help people build profitable businesses. So you might say, wow, that sounds pretty interesting. Tell me about it.
Yeah, you create an interest.
Yeah.
And then finally, do you have some advice for women building up their business in Nikken? Some final things to say?
Advice for women. You're the greatest, women. You're tough. Remember that song, I Am Woman? Hear me roar.
I want to do all of them, but
yeah. If I could do it, anybody could do it. To all of you women who are on this call, if there's any men on this call as well, I remember the days where my family said, you don't even know what you're talking about. You don't know about these products. What are you saying? You sound so... So those are the kids that were telling me this. And I said, you know what? They're giving me an idea. I've got to go and I've got to learn and I've got to shape up here. And all of us, just do your homework. It's a wonderful life. You're the best at everything that you want in life. Have a really big why. Nikken wants all of you to be royal diamonds, to have a life that other people dream of, and we all know it's true. It can happen. And so I don't know what else to say to the women other than the fact that they're awesome and they're caring and they're compassionate. And sometimes you have to get away from that and you have to go to the business side because we're not really looking for sick people. Even though some people lead with the products, and one of the products is the business opportunity. We're in the sorting business, and so we're going through people, we're sorting through them, and we're going to find the right pair of shoes that we like and that fits.
Exactly. And what I loved, what was said in Orlando was that, I can't remember exactly who said that, but there are positions free. As there are positions, free as diamonds, platinums, royal diamonds, etc. And the person who said it, or I think there were a couple of people actually saying it, that they want more people up among the others. So it's like we have the song Shine Like a Diamond, the Rihanna song, and that's the thing that for people to take up, go for it, like you said, believe in themselves and build themselves up.
There's plenty of room.
Exactly.
There's plenty of room. I remember when I made President's Club, I stood on the stage. It was a small stage. It was in Florida. And I couldn't believe it. And what I said to him is, all of you belong up here with me. I'm not any better than anybody else. I just took the right steps, and they're easy. We're not digging a ditch. It's just simple steps that you do in front of different faces. That's all. So exactly. It's okay. Good.
Well, thank you very much, Dee. And Charlotte, you have some final things to say before we round up?
Oh, it's been for sure a very interesting call. And I love like everything, and I try to make some notes about all this. Yeah, I most definitely think that this is a webinar that you should listen to more than once. But mainly what you're saying is like, it's all about believing in yourself, finding your passion and your why. You said, this is my business, it's my passion. When you've had that feeling, everything can just go away. You had that when you started as a nurse, because you wanted to change the world, and now you can do it with Niken instead. So that was your passion. Your passion actually hasn't changed. You just changed the company. But what I also really loved, and we talked about that before, and often we tend, now I generalize, but to like saying that, oh, it's so much easier when you're a diamond, when you're a royal diamond. But after listening to you and hearing, you have still challenges. You still have the monkey on your shoulder. It
Sure.
might have changed some of the words or the things that they have saying to you, but at the same time, yeah, they are still there. But you still keep on going, and you still learn, and that's really nice to know that it's not going to end when you become a diamond. It's not like, okay, then I have learned everything, then I'm on the top. No, it's still something to, yeah, to work further on. And then the commitment, especially the part of being committed to yourself. I think a lot of us forget that. As you said, we committed Humans Be More. We might commit at a big event, Super Saturday or whatever, saying, oh, this is interesting, now I'm going to do it. And then we go home and daily day activity like gets in the way. We forget to commit to ourselves. It's so easy to just put out the words, but if you just say it, it doesn't really mean anything. So yeah, we need to start commit to ourselves, and really look inside and see what is it that we want to go for, and stop taking all this too personal. And I think that comes when we find the passion, like you talked about. So
Charlotte, I wrote down a couple of things that I thought were pretty interesting. I wrote down, I think how you approach obstacles is a big part of being successful. You can't give up, okay? And when you speak with confidence, people believe you and you believe you. So take classes, public speaking, Humans Being More, read everything you can get your hands on, listen to CDs even while you're driving, education on wheels, build your own life cycle board. Surround yourself with people who have already become successful, people who know more than you. Take ownership of your business. It doesn't depend on your upline. And draw out your business plan. Have your business skills. You have to balance passion and analytical skills. Always be prepared. Learn the process. Be accountable to yourself. And at HBM, you'll be energized and inspired to do great things.
it's so true. I think that was like the final pitch there. So we got a lot of questions asking where to find the recording and things like that. I just put up the slide, but at theroyalalliance.com you can find every recording that have been made this year. So you can go and listen to it, send it out to your downlines, and pick the brains again from all the great ladies that we have had on already. So, and there will also be like the link for the next upcoming webinars, so you can pre-sign you up and be ready. So, any last things you want to add, or else I will end it with the song?
I want to thank both of you for allowing me to be part of this wonderful women's empower, women to inspire each other, to be part of your lives. I want to thank you, and meet you all on the Nikan Highway.
We will, definitely. And it's been wonderful to have you on, Dee.
Thank you.
This is one of the songs I listen to. Now Dee talked about her songs. This one really helps me remember that I need to step up and I need to start to shine. So maybe it will help you as well. Thank you for today, wherever you are in the world. Thank you, Dee, for all your comments, and it's been really good having you. Really looking forward to the future. Might have you on another time, you never know. So take care, everybody, and have a great day, great week. See you out on the Nikan Highway.